Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we are not going to be waiting on the Fafnir here, but let's go ahead and tick on forward and get the rest of our mechs repaired. That is absolutely fine. We're going to get all of our mech warriors back quite soon as well. There's 2 million C-bills down the drain from the financial report, but that is, of course, to be expected. So let's continue on forward here. There we go. And let's see. Kodiak is going to be back in 2 days. He's the only one that we actually care about for getting mech warrior training done. But let's hop into the barracks here. And we're going to get Kodiak. Actually, we don't have a point of training for Kodiak. For some reason, I thought that we did. We're actually very close. Maybe it's from Simulator. Because I remember running this forward to check timings after last episode, and I remember Kodiak actually having the XP for it. Maybe it was an event? I don't know, but we're going to continue to tick forward for a few more days here. That actually injures him for 8 days, so that'll give him time. And yeah, he might get simulator information. But yeah, I sometimes run the time forward after I make the final save for the episode, just to check repair timings and make sure that I'm correct on that. But yeah, in this particular case, I'm guessing it was just, yeah, that's what it was. Simulator. Sounds good. So we're going to give him a point of piloting. Excellent. And we're not going to wait on the Fafnir to finish up. We're going to get everything else good to go. That'll be done in 3 days here. Perfect. And let's see what we want to get done here. We already know that everything's good to go in the mech bay, so that'll... Okay, what do we have available here? From the top difficulty down. That's an urban escort. Urban attack and defend. Urban capture base. Ambush convoy in the Badlands. Here's an 8.5 skull destroy base. That's urban. So, sightlines are going to be pretty grim. Okay. I mean, we could go for this capture base. It's 9.5 skull and decently high pay. I think I'm going to hold off on that for the moment, though. Maybe. Well, it all kind of depends, right? If there's a Railgun Turret there, that would be amazing. Actually, let's do it. No free priority salvage here, right down the middle. That'll be fine. We'll drop in the awesome, and I believe it is Paladin who has awesome affinities. Yes. Okay, so that'll be just fine. And we'll go ahead and deploy this. This is half a skull less difficult than the last mission, but I still expect this to be more difficult than the... And that's just because of the compensation. So we'll see what that ends up looking like. We are definitely expecting a lot of artillery turrets, and we may or may not be able to get an LOS on those artillery turrets with our direct fire mechs. So this is going to be very, very interesting indeed. However, with this being a capture base mission, there is a possibility that the garrison is indeed drawn off. Like it said in the briefing, I skimmed that briefing on the way through, but they said that they'd be drawing off the enemy force. So the base may actually be empty when we get there, other than turrets. That would be amazing if that was the case, but we'll see. So we need to capture the Draconis Combine military outpost. We've recently discovered a Cretan military outpost in an extremely inconvenient location, strangling trade and movement for our personnel in the area. Your mission, eliminate enemy defenses, then capture and hold the base long enough for Lyran forces to take possession. We'll support your action by drawing off some of the defenders ahead of time, so if these units retreat to the base, they'll already be weakened by our troops. That's nice. Commander, the Lyran plan is sound, as long as we're okay with intentionally setting up an ambush on ourselves. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay, so 9.5 skull mission here.
Online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Okay, let's go.
Command interface initiated.
So, we're here to capture the military outpost. We need to get eyes on the facility. Is this the facility? No, this is a scout point. No, this would be the facility. That's the turret point, turret point, turret point. We can drop right here. That's a little insane. Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and do so. Okay, so that's a scout. Yeah, turrets. We're aware. Okay, so we immediately see a long tom turret here. We see a couple of mechs over this way. We see a thumper turret. That's not that threatening. We don't see anything here. Although I expect that there is something there. Okay, that is a railgun turret and a thumper turret. Interesting. Okay, so we're delayed back quite far here because of dropping into combat. This vulture walks in, hits our awesome point blank. Okay.
Reporting heavy fire.
So we're going to need to turn around some of these mechs, and we're going to need to clear up a lot of these units very quickly, right? When are we going to get a chance to move? Well, our soonest move is phase 17. This Griffin jumps in, goes for the rear attack on the Salamander. That's to be expected. Okay. So the Salamander moves now. We could go for the Thumper turret. We could go for the Railgun turret. We could go for the Griffin. I don't think that's a good idea. There's also an inbound dropship over here. So that's good to know. But that's probably only after we occupy the outpost. I think that we should head up over this way. So we're going to take the Salamander up here, and we are going to hit this Railgun turret. There's absolutely no point right now, anyway, in... Yeah, there's no point at all in warlording this. But we're going to fire AX rounds, and we're going to fire the MRMs first, in the hopes that those soften up the armor and we get some crits here. Let's see what we get. Okay, so that's the Railgun. Next up, the Awesome is going to close in over this way. We could fire on the Long Tom turret or on the Thumper turret. The Long Tom turret is by far the more threatening thing here. So we're going to do that. There's, once again, absolutely no point whatsoever in warlording here.
Firing full complement on enemy.
Okay, so they've got a laser AMS firing from something. Ooh, hello. Okay.
Losing armor.
So that was phase 15, so that was this Thumper turret. The Thumper turrets aren't that scary. It's the Long Tom turret that we're worried about right now. So the Madcap Mark II is going to move up over here, where we have a clear LOS, and we're going to take out this Long Tom turret. This should eliminate it, I think. Not quite. A couple of Engine XL crits there. If that AMS hadn't have happened, but it did.
Good to go.
Okay, so the Mauler, I feel like I want to have the Mauler perhaps step back here because of Gauss minimum range. Or we could just walk in and punch this Vulture Mark IV. Well, technically we'd kick it. Side arc. You know what? Let's do it.
Right, Commander.
We did miss the kick. That's sad.
Systems recycling for another shot.
We did hit one of those Gauss. We actually got an engine crit out of that.
Commander.
That's interesting. Through armor engine crit, I guess. Okay.
Yes, Commander.
The Annihilator is going to move up to this position, and we're also going to kick this guy. And this could easily kill this Vulture. Boop. That laser AMS really doing some work there. But we're very close to having this Vulture dead. So who do we move next? This is the Bull Shark. I'm actually going to turn the Bull Shark, or actually have the Bull Shark come up over this way. That's within minimum range of the Long Tom. That's sad, but we're still going to move it up here, and we're going to fire on their Long Tom turret. We're not going to fire our Long Tom because of minimum range, but this should still kill the turret.
One less turret.
Okay, next up is our longbow. Now, the longbow is not in an ideal position here because it likes to be a little further away. We could fire the enhanced LRM-15 at the Vulture Mark IV. And actually, that would be our best hit odds here. We would want to... we would still fire the ELRM here, I guess. Trying to overwhelm their AM. Okay, so the Vulture gets knocked down. And its structure exposed in the CT.
Standing by.
The Boar's Head is going to step back over this direction.
Moving to position.
And its artillery is going to drop on the Stumper turret. We'll soften it up. I don't expect to destroy this Stumper turret, and I do expect that this may splash damage some. Okay. That laser AMS definitely go in. I'm pretty sure it is this archer that has it. He moves up. Shoots a single medium laser at our salamander. That's not very threatening, if I'm honest. What is this guy over here that we didn't see before? An Apollo? Okay. Sounds good. So phase 20 is going to be this Griffin. We're not very scared of the Griffin. Let's see what he does. The Griffin jumps.
Watch the flank.
Fires rear arc on the salamander again. This is fine.
Minimal damage on that hit.
Phase 19 is going to be, looks like the Apollo. We'll see what he does. Backs off. Goes for the salamander. No major problems there. Next up. Our salamander is going to want to walk in over this way. I mean, this would be ideal, but this pathing is not ideal at all. So we're probably going to... go for the rear arc kick on the archer, I think. Actually, that's side arc. This would be rear arc. We'd want to fire these in improved, most likely. And yeah, we'll go ahead and do this.
Move order received.
So that's a successful kick. There we go. I was wondering if we were going to get past that armor. Good. So the Apollo is definitely the one that is running the AMS. The Vulture Mark IV has stood back up, and let's see what he's going to do. Goes for the boar's head of all things. Okay, I don't care about that. That's irrelevant. Completely and totally.
I'm sitting on the fuse.
Next up is our Awesome, and the Awesome is, I think, going to walk in here and go for the rear arc kick on the Griffin. We're going to not fire one heavy PPC. Hit odds aren't the best on that, and we're running pretty hot as well. So we're just going to back off here.
Engaging.
So that's a successful kick on that Griffin. Thunderbolt 5 ammo
Critical hit commit.
into a knockdown. Okay. Not as much damage to the Griffin as I had hoped, but it doesn't have much left. The Mauler at this point is going to remain where it's at. It's going to finish off this Stumper turret. Eliminate it. We'll just not fire these two ER medium lasers.
Got it.
One very dead Thumper there.
One less turret.
Cool. This thumper just didn't fire.
Yes, Commander.
An interesting choice, to be sure. So, the Vulture Mark II, we want to attack this guy in the front arc. We're not going to fire the Gauss rifles, but we can fire the enhanced LRM-15s in this range, and that's absolutely fine.
Physical attack.
So there's a melee to make... Oh, and he ejects from the melee. So they definitely have multiple laser AMSs. But that's fine.
Ready for orders.
The longbow is going to back off here,
Roger.
and we're going to finish off this Griffin. Actually, legs are probably better here. Might have ammo there. There we go. Engine.
Mech destroyed.
So all that's left now is the Apollo and the Thumper turret.
Aye, aye.
So the Annihilator is going to move up over here, where we have direct LOS on that Thumper turret. And we'll go ahead and Warlord here to boost the odds a bit. I'd rather not stray shot the Salamander if we can help it. I think Slug mode is ideal here. Nice. That Thumper turret is gone. So all that's left now is the Apollo.
Awaiting orders.
The Bull Shark will drop a long tom there.
Roger that.
Now we do hit our Salamander a little bit, but that's fine.
Reporting major armor loss.
Ah, you're okay. We're going to do the same thing with the Boar's Head. Slight overheat here, but that should be okay.
Critical hit, Commander.
Okay.
I've got eyes on hostile.
Yes, reinforcements are unsurprising right now. Our Salamander is going to turn around,
Area, Commander.
and we're going to hit this Apollo here.
On the move.
Okay. So, improved? Yes, improved. We're not going to fire the 2 medium lasers due to heat.
Roger that. Target confirmed.
Okay, Deadfire ammo explosion there. A knockdown on the Apollo. So that reserves him back to phase 18. Next up is our Awesome. We don't know where those reinforcements are. We have not seen them yet. Wait, maybe over here? Yes. Okay. So there's a Stalker, there is a Fury 2, a Trebuchet, and a Hitosumi. Okay.
I'm ready.
So the Awesome for right now is going to position over here. And we're going to fire on that Apollo with our LRM-20.
Acknowledge.
And that Apollo...
Hostile removed.
Beautiful.
Waiting for orders.
The Mauler can fire from this position, and so we shall. We're going to turn around, and we're going to shoot at this Fury 2 command tank. Although, hit odds are so low that we're just going to brace.
Commander.
The Madcap Mark II is probably going to do the same here. We're just going to reserve, actually, until they've moved. Okay. So the Stalker moves up. It's probably going to go rear arc on the Boar's Head. Yes, that's what I expected. Oh, running tandem. Okay. Well, it didn't get any crits there. So that's... Hitosumi is up here running around a bit. Okay, that's fine. The Bull Shark is going to position over here. We do have direct fire LOS on the Fury, but that's not worth firing. We're going to drop artillery on the Stalker right now and soften up its armor.
Target confirmed.
Okay. Good softening there. Phase 17 is going to be this Trebuchet. It moves up and fires on the Awesome. This is fine. We don't care about this at all.
Not much armor left in that location.
Indeed not.
Right here.
The Boar's Head is going to turn around,
I'm there.
and we're going to fire on this Stalker. We're going to fire high explosive because of the hit odds, but we're going to fire direct because there's a backstop right behind this guy. This is a huge overheat. Okay, we're only going to fire the sniper artillery then.
Engaging.
That should make the Stalker unsteady, and indeed it did.
Watch the heat.
So now that Fury is going to move. It's running a Gauss Rifle M7. Okay. Goes for the Boar's Head. Gets that through armor, as expected.
Orders.
The Madcat Mark II is now going to move up over this way. The Stalker is the obvious target. There's no way around it. And we will fire the Gauss Rifle HA-20s. That's a structure exposure and quite a lot of damage to that Stalker. Was that a CT exposure? No, that was just gyro XLs and such. Okay, gotcha. So the longbow is going to step in over here.
On my way.
I feel like the longbow goes for the kill on the Stalker. Yeah, do it.
Tango.
One dead Stalker. Next target is probably the Fury 2.
Standing by.
And the Annihilator is going to step up over here.
Confirmed.
Now, we're probably most interested in armor strip on this Fury 2, so we're going to fire cluster rounds.
Will go.
Okay, got some frontal armor removed there.
Oh, crap. What was that?
I believe that was friendly fire, but whatever. The Salamander is going to step forward over this way. It doesn't have LOS on anything, and it needs to sink heat anyway, so we'll go ahead. Next up would be our Awesome, which is going to position over this way. Firing on that Fury 2 with a Warlord. Hopefully we don't stray shot, but we could.
Engaging target.
We may have stray shot one of those PPCs.
Reporting. Major armor lost.
We did indeed. Okay.
Aye, aye.
So the Madcat Mark II is going to look to close in, well, maybe back off, actually. We want hit odds on this guy. I guess we should actually sprint forward and try to get this altitude, but that'll be a next round sort of thing. Okay.
Awaiting orders.
The Annihilator will close on in,
Will go.
and we'll continue to armor strip this.
Taking the shot.
Okay.
Reporting. Heavy damage.
Yeah, I mean, we're stray shotting the rear arc here, but we're fine for now. The Mauler is going to move up over this way,
On my way.
so that hopefully we don't stray shot the Madcat with the heavy Gauss. That would be unfortunate. We're going to Warlord this, and we're going to hit this Fury 2 quite hard. There we go. The Fury 2 is down. So is this building, but that's not relevant.
Enemy down.
So now we've got the Trebuchet and the Hitosume up there.
Yes, Commander.
So the Bull Shark is going to step up over here.
Roger that.
And the Hitosume is actually the one that we need to hit. That's a lot of armor. Okay.
Copy that.
So we'll begin removing that armor.
I'm here.
The longbow will step up, and let's check hit odds here. They're quite low. We're just going to sink heat. So we'll see what these two mechs do. So far, they're just thinking about what they're going to do. But the Trebuchet backs off a bit, fires on the Madcat Mark II. That's fine. Completely and totally fine.
Minimal damage.
Yes, Commander.
Our Boar's Head is going to step up over here. We're still a little concerned about heat. So we could fire our artillery, like so, on the Hitosume, and that'll be fine. Not a great sniper artillery shot, but a pretty good arrow.
The heat's affecting my performance.
So that'll be fine. And we'll see what that Hitosume does next. It jumps. And has direct fire on the Salamander from there. That's good to know.
Armor left in that location.
Okay.
Ready for order.
So the Awesome is going to head up over here.
Rolling.
We have direct LOS on the Hitosume. If we hit it with anything, it will become unsteady. And we're going to fire LRMs. So let's make it unsteady. Beautiful.
Good to
Next,
go.
the Salamander is going to move up over here. It has hit odds on both of these. I think we're going to go for the Hitosume with AX rounds. Well, actually, that's quite a armor, or quite a hit odds reduction here. 88.7 versus 43.4. That's literally half. which means I think we're better off using improved rounds here.
Engaging target.
Okay, that's a knockdown. Excellent.
Commander?
The Mauler is not going to get LOS anytime soon. It's just going to sprint forward and sink its heat.
Ready for orders.
The Madcap Mark II, I don't think is going to get LOS over here either. No, it's just going to sprint up over here and probably drop some LRMs on the Hirosume. And we'll do this in Listen Kill.
Acknowledged.
Cool.
Commander?
Next up, the Annihilator moves up. It's also going to drop its LRMs on the Hirosume. Ah! Why are we on this building? No, don't attack the building. I want the Hirosume. There we go.
Firing on target.
Got some internal damage there on the arm, which isn't necessarily ideal, but I guess it's fine.
Aye aye.
The Bull Shark is going to step up.
Move order confirmed.
Artillery is, of course, going to go onto that Hirosume.
Target locked.
That's a good hit there.
Reporting critical hit.
I'm a little surprised this pilot hasn't ejected, in all honesty.
Confirmed.
He really probably should.
All weapons. Go.
Okay, well, there's the Hirosume out of there. So all that's left now is the Trebuchet.
Right here.
So the Boar's Head will step up. It's still running pretty hot here, and we'll just fire artillery on the Trebuchet to soften it up a bit.
I'm melting.
A pretty bad arrow 4 shot, but not a bad sniper artillery shot there. The Trebuchet is now going to move, but its armor has been substantial. And if it attacks the Salamander, we don't care. Like, if it comes up here, that would be ideal. Okay, it backs off a little bit, goes for the Boar's Head. Our laser AMS tries. Gets 7 of those. That's not bad.
Receiving you.
Okay, we could get direct fire from over here. Now, this will be hitting the capture zone, so that's something to note for sure. We're going to fire improved at this Trebuchet. So structure exposure there. And actually, he's straight up dead. Dropship is inbound for landing. Beautiful. And we're going to capture this instantly, as soon as this round ends anyway. So for now, we're just going to brace all of our units. I don't think that there's going to be another set of enemies.
Taking a protective stance.
And we're just going to end this round.
Standing by.
I wish we could do a brace all, but sadly, we can't. We have to do this one at a time
Commander?
because we're in combat. But there we go. The outpost is under our control, and we're good.
Mission successful.
Beautiful. So, I mean, that could have been a lot worse, but we did run into a railgun turret. That is hugely important. Hugely, hugely important. So, what are we going to do about that? Well, hopefully, fingers crossed, that we actually get some railgun ammo from it. That is step 1. Yes, we accept this. Okay. Railgun ammo. Yes. 2 tons of railgun ammo available. Now, that's only 8 rounds. So, we're going to take 2 tons of railgun ammo, and we're going to call that good. We got a medium pulse laser. We'll keep that around. Long tom ammo, tandem MRM ammo. That's all good to have. That was all pretty solid, so we'll accept that. Now, we're going to load in here and get all of our repairs underway. We did take some decently heavy chunks of damage, particularly on the Atlas. I expect that to take a while to repair because of all of that internal damage that happened. But that'll be fine. It wasn't like exiting unscathed under any circumstances, and a lot of the damage we actually dealt to ourselves with stray shot, but you know, that happens. So we'll see what Yang's estimate is, but what we really need to do is refit the Corsair, and I want to get that done now. So we're going to do that immediately here. Come on, Yang. What's your estimate? Okay, that's not too bad. 300,000, 40 days. Sounds good. Nothing took any major damage. Yeah, the Atlas is quite a ways away, and we're just going to do something like this. This is fine. Sounds good. Now we'll hop into the mech bay, and I want to refit that Corsair. The Corsair will probably be upgraded to a proper frontline mech as well. So let's see what we've got for weight here. As soon as the mech bay catches up a bit. Fantastic. Okay, so let's load up the Corsair. Currently, it's running this Thumper Artillery, and then, what, dual ER medium lasers? Yeah, something along those lines. So we're going to drop the Thumpers. They're not very good, if I'm honest. We're going to drop the Thumpers, and that gives us 39 tons to work with. We'll max out the armor for the moment. That gives us 38 tons to work with. So, we obviously want to mount in this railgun. What's the tonnage on that? 30 tons. Sounds good. So we put that in. Railgun requirements not met. What do we need for that? Do we need more slots here? Or does it have particular requirements that we don't have? It doesn't say in the tooltip that I know of. Has a recoil of 6, changes based on your evasion, yes. Powers down to prevent explosion when out of ammo. Uses railgun Gauss ammo. I don't see anything that is required on here. But it is prohibitively heavy and large and can only fit on the largest battle mechs. And it seems like I just saw in the patch notes with, like, the last patch. Let me check here. Or maybe, like, a couple patches ago. Artillery nerfed, blah, blah, blah. But it seems like there was something on railguns in this. So maybe this is not possible anymore on this particular mech. Let me do a Control F. Railgun. Okay. Full-sized railguns are restricted to super heavies only as of version 1.1.10.7. Okay, so that was not too long ago. And that does mean that the railgun cannot currently be equipped until we get a super heavy. Okay. So, now we need to work on getting a super heavy. And for that, we'll probably need to continue to push up the difficulty, is my guess. Okay, well, there we go. Now we know. Fantastic. Well, we'll go ahead and get these repairs done in the next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.